Hi guys, welcome to Learn Electronics Repair. I have a little speaker here, Bluetooth speaker, Denon. Apparently these are like €200 or something, so they're not so cheap. The top is already unscrewed. This was brought in by Handy Andy from the phone repair shop. He says it's dead, so he tells me the power supply, which is this one, works. Okay, the power supply works. We can see power supply is 13 volts, 2.3 amp. Okay, positive to the center. So he knows the power supply works as much as it gives voltage out, but it probably doesn't tell us if there's a short in here, so it just trips out, or if the voltage is dropping on load, which is possible. So there could still be a problem with the power supply. So I'm going to connect my bench power supply to this first, I think. Let's set it to 13 volts. So let's see how much current this actually draws. That'll probably be a very good indicator as to what the problem might be and why this basically is dead. So this is my bench power supply. Let's plug this in. And it's drawing 5 amps. So I think that tells us straight away there's a short in here, yeah? Okay, let's look inside it. So that's what's inside it, yeah. As often is the case, these things are more computer than amplifier. We have 2 batteries, okay. We have some VRMs, so let's see if we can figure out where the short actually is. We also have this. This is not a speaker, by the way. It looks like a speaker, but it isn't a speaker. I think it's called something like a resonator or something. It's like a fake speaker. This moves, but only because you're the ones that are driving air backwards and forwards. So fake speaker, not quite what you'd really expect for €200, but that's what we have. Let's just disconnect these. I'll just make a little note as to which ones are the red ones, and then we're good. So red and red. So let's see where the short is. First place, we'll just check across the actual power connector. And there isn't a short there, so the short is on some derived voltage rail from that. The best place to look for those places is of course these inductors. So I need to figure out where ground is. Well, I suppose the easy way is ground is the outer part of the barrel of the power connector, so just make sure I have a connection on it. Yes, I do. Right, so what do we have? 550 ohms. That probably actually powers the battery or charges the battery. What else do we have? Open, open, open. This one, so the short is on whatever this is driving, okay. Let's get the PCB out and have a look to see what that actually does. Okay, here is the PCB. We need the ground point again. I noticed the black wires went to here, so once again we can check that is short. These read open and they still read open. I'm not convinced. Yeah, these are not buck converters. Look, you see this chip here, and there's 4 of these. These I think is the Class D amplifier, or a pair of them. Speaker connector, probably. I didn't see exactly where it went, but speaker connector. So they're not power supplies at all. This one is. Okay, reads open. Looks like a fuse. Reads good. This we know read a resistance. Just try again. Yeah, fine. And it looks like that's a MOSFET there. Another looks like a fuse. Could be a low value resistor. Okay. So where's the short? Well, probably on whatever's powered by this. So this looks like the controller chip. It could be the controller. I'm confident enough that is the controller. This is a diode on the output. Is that short? Read short. There are some capacitors here. That one reads okay. That one reads, well, I read the resistance, it's not short. Just some bigger capacitors. Ah, there's a short, or no, low resistance, not short. 11k. I'll just read this in resistance range. There is definitely a short there. Okay. I think quick and easy way on this is probably the thermal camera. Let's have a look to see if we can figure out what is getting hot. The other option probably would be to find a data sheet for this thing and then work out what the circuit is. Okay, but we can say for certainty really it is some sort of buck converter. Another IC there. Okay, let's connect the power supply to this again. Let's get the thermal camera. I probably don't need 5 amps going into this. I've turned the current down on the limiter. Just turned low. I'll just give it, say, 1 amp. Something like that. Let's see if we can see anything with the camera. No, nothing's really warming up at 1 amp. Let's turn it up a little bit more. About 1.5 amps. Do we see anything now? Not really. Oh, I think I may see something here. Unless it was something shiny that just looked like it was hot. Okay, a bit more. So, a bit over 2 amps now. Now something gets warm. Let me put the macro lens on. Okay, what do we see? Still nothing very hot. Let's give it some more again. Anything? Looks like the controller chip. A bit more. Let's just turn it up some. Okay, yeah. So the thing that's getting hot is the actual buck controller. That thing there. Okay. And the rest of the PCB, no. So the problem is definitely here. And that buck controller. I'm just going to give it the 5 amps again. Let's just see. Oh, definitely that. Okay. The only thing getting hot then is this chip. So this is, I'm sure, the controller for this buck converter. It could be something that's connected to, which is actually short. I mean, we were reading a short across this diode to start with, but I would have thought probably that would have got hot as well. I mean, possibly not. Possibly there is a short on something around here. Let's see if we can find a data sheet for this chip. So I can't easily read the marking on it. I think in fact there might be some sort of burn mark or something here in it. Anyway, this appears to be the connection that actually goes to power or to the coil, something like that. It's a thick track. Okay, so it looks like it might actually be damaged here. Let me get the microscope and let's have a look. Yeah, there's the chip. You can see the markings. It looks like there is some discoloration or something on there. Let's get the optical microscope, see if that's a bit clearer. Okay, so that's the other chip, CSD25401, which is near to this one. This one, I'm sure, is the controller for this buck converter. We can see the tracks go under there. It does look like there's some mark or damage on that, to be quite honest. And the part number BO or B0 24172. I can see that clearly with the microscope. Can't we find a data sheet for this thing? Okay, so I can't find a data sheet. I can't figure out what the number is. That's the problem. I've tried to clean this up with a bit of ice, so there's definitely like a hole, not a hole, but a circular area there, which looks damaged to me. Is this a faulty chip? Well, I could unsolder it and see if the short goes away. We can have a bit of a look around, because I can see that this diode reads short. I'm in ohms range now, just in ohms range, okay? And it's reading short. That goes to this pin on this chip here. Okay, which also reads short. These capacitors reads 0.5 of an ohm. What was this one again? Yeah, the same. This is probably ground. Let's see. If this is ground, reads a bit lower. I mean, this meter doesn't exactly zero anyway. Okay, so yeah, that was reading effectively like a short. So the short is to ground, and you can't exactly say what is short. But what I can say is that from ground to here, you can see these two are in parallel with each other. 0.51. This also goes to this chip, and it's not in parallel with those. And this also reads a low resistance, 10 ohms, okay? This one reads like a short again. A lot to me points to this chip being the problem, because we have at least two different connections here. Okay, one reading low, one reading like a short. One point something ohms. So they're different resistances, but they're all very low. That pretty much tells me that is the problem. So I'm going to unsolder that, although I don't know what it is anyway, and let's see if the short actually goes away. There's quite a lot of stuff on the other side of the board as well here. Okay, so I'm not going to use the preheater, I don't think. I think I'll just try and actually unsolder that. It's in this area. Okay, we can see pin 1 is there. Right, let's try and get this off the board without exploding any of these capacitors. I don't think there's anything to gain by putting leaded solder on this. I mean, I would normally do that. I'm fairly sure we're going to find there's a pad under here, maybe, that connects to the board. So I will try to add a bit of leaded solder, but being a QF ed, it probably doesn't help a lot, but you know what, it doesn't do any harm, yeah? Well, it doesn't seem to want to take the solder easily, so let's warm it up a bit first. Now let's try that again. will this unsolder? Yes. As I expected, there was a pad underneath it, so adding the leaded solder really didn't help. But it's come off clean. Okay. So do we still see those low resistances? Let's have a look. No, that means 67, 68 ohms now on that one. 70 ohms, okay, that was in parallel. 13 or 14k, this one. 4 meg. Okay, so definitely a faulty one of those. Yeah, a faulty one of those. Question is, what is it? And I don't actually know, guys, so if anybody knows what that one is, and you guys are really good, yeah, you're really good, then we should be able to fix this. Yeah, it's just that one bit of information that's really holding us back. Okay, so I think you will agree with the diagnosis on that one. The question is, can we get a replacement part? Okay, hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you all soon again on Learning Electronics Repair. Ciao for now, guys.